My name is Patrick Wilkerson.
Irene Sante.
Nilu Putusri Purnawidari.
Brandon Smythe.
Yujie Peng.
Fabio Massa.
Dominika Gołachowska.
Violetta.
Nicole Julian.
Thomas Drummond.
My name is Alexandria Carr.
I am from Florida.
I am currently living in Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands.
Bali, Indonesia.
I'm from South Africa, Pretoria.
I'm from China.
I came from Naples, South Italy.
I'm from Poland.
I'm from Bulgaria.
And I'm from Massachusetts.
I am from Sydney, Australia.
I'm from Birmingham, the greatest city in the world.
We had a lockdown, but it wasn't a real lockdown. They told you to stay inside, but no one stayed inside.
I feel like my country handled the current pandemic and a lot better than us South Africans anticipated.
It's not so simple because here a lot of friends goes away, a lot of people that I know. You see some of people that grow with you, and now there are no people.
At the beginning of the outbreak, it was awful. So they just tried to hide the truth from everyone.
Pretty much all of New England quickly became low-risk states. I think it was very hard for everybody to get on the same page.
Stuff like compulsory masks and social distancing didn't come until a few months after we found out it was serious.
At the beginning of the whole pandemic, we all went into lockdown like everyone else.
This is not something that has ever happened before. And of course, they were not prepared for it.
Unfortunately, I see a lot of non-essential restrictions imposed by our government.
But us being an island, there was more opportunity for us to manage it better. And I think that's where we have failed.
Well, it kind of sucks, to be honest, because there's a lot of things kids should be able to do that my kids have not been able to do for the last year. I feel you should be able to take your kids out to parks and let them play with other kids. And
there are a few undeveloped areas in South Africa, I guess, like the villages, townships that got hit very badly, and the cases there are actually astronomical.
It is right to sacrifice a small group of people's benefits for the larger group's benefits.
They were prepared. It was not like so severe the situation like it was here too.
I feel like we were all kind of blissfully unaware until it happened to your own family. Like my mom got it and she was terrified, and then my twin sister got it and she was scared, and thankfully everything turned out okay. But I think it's just the scariness of not knowing.
I did lose my job. At the time, I was a bartender. I worked with a lot of amazing people. It was probably one of the best jobs that I've had.
A lot of people getting angry at that situation of seeing foreigners coming in, bringing in the virus, but we, the citizens, we can't even go to the next city over to see our family.
Additionally, the government says what can and cannot be done when they themselves do what they want.
You know, after a week of maybe, binging Netflix and eating all the pizza and chocolate that one possibly could, that got boring. And then I just used it to do all the things that I wanted to do.
I have a 2-year-old, she hasn't gone out to the playground and gotten to play with kids. She hasn't been able to go out, watch movies, get ice cream, just socialize, see people, talk to people. It's just been odd seeing her grow up.
A lot of the things that I did before the pandemic, I'm still doing. I can still go out to a friend's house and have a barbecue there. So I don't feel like it badly infected my social life.
I am an Italian director and actor. We were publishing a new movie for the cinema. Theaters closed, so I lost a lot of money.
My next step would be go back to China and find my job. But now I cannot go back to home, so I cannot find a job.
I'm a translator and interpreter, and I'm allowed to do both jobs. If I want to go to the hospitals to translate, to be an interpreter, I am not stopped to travel.
Especially as a nurse graduating in 2020, right when the pandemic started, I was pretty much going to go into the line of work as a frontline worker, because that's kind of like the only choice that I had. So things definitely changed, and they changed quickly.
So my partner passed away when I was 5 weeks pregnant. He had accident and it was terrible. My kid is mixed race. Oh, I got a lot of comments on, oh my goodness, how come that the mother is ugly and the kid is so beautiful?
It took away a part of my soul, I believe. Oh my God, the bucket list is huge. I would love to go to Thailand, Philippines, UK, obviously, and maybe Mexico.
I started a little online diary, and so radio was one thing that I've always wanted to do. So I contacted some radio stations and said, look, I'm doing this, and now I'm a broadcaster for 2 radio stations.
Yeah, I had a baby and had a lot of complications with that. We were in the hospital for a long time. That didn't go great, especially with COVID going around. You had a lot of issues in there, so my wife didn't get to see the baby for a while because she had problems. The baby had problems. They were both in the intensive care, so it was a big mess.
And I think that I'm lucky too, because I never remember a lot of period spent with my son. I was not here with my family because I was worked out. So maybe one of the positive aspects of this is that I can see my son grow up, but with me.
So the good thing was that I met my boyfriend in that time. And so now I'm living with my boyfriend now.
If I look back on earlier this winter, I think it was a very scary time that probably left me with a little bit of trauma there. But honestly, like, COVID gave me valuable experience in my career that I'm going to be able to use to help advance myself in the future, I think.
The good thing, I suppose, about leaving that job is that it's really pushed me to search for something that I do want to do. I've been searching a lot more. I've been applying myself to a lot more uni and TAFE courses, as opposed to while I was content with the bar job, I didn't really do any of that.
Yeah, I think during the pandemic, even in lockdown, I have not had a problem with my partner. If anything, our relationship got stronger.
We have to be optimistic. At least we have to be hopeful, because otherwise, what's the point? I've been prepared by the death of my partner. I've been through worse.
Yes. I'm waiting for it to end. So after it, I'm going to be a free spirit.
So it's one of those things that I don't think we're ever going to be the same as we were before the outbreak. I don't think everyone's going to toss out their mask right away.
You can't just sit there and complain. You just have to make the best of it. So I just did, I'm not going to sit back and think about the negatives.
I think that probably tomorrow we have more happiness than now. So optimism is blood in my in my heart.
I think it definitely solidified my desire to want to be a nurse and to better myself as a nurse. So I feel very optimistic going into opportunities to have in the future. If anything like this is ever to happen again, I really hope that next time we're more prepared and we definitely learn from this.
In terms of existentialism, the world is nuts, isn't it? So am I optimistic about the future? I'm an eternal optimist.
God, I'd say I'm feeling quite optimistic about it. A lot can happen within a short amount of time. Whether that's good or bad, it's still up to the future, I suppose.
But maybe the future is in our hands. We can change the future. The future will be good. It can be worse.